Thank you. We will call this meeting to order at 5:03 p.m. I would like to acknowledge our guests. Welcome, everybody, all of our guests. It's nice to see you all. Nice to see so many of you. Yeah, that's good. And we can move right into the consent agenda. Starting with approval of the agenda. Has everybody had a chance to review it?
Yes.
Okay. And any questions or changes? No? Okay, then we'll move into the approval of the December 8th, 2025 meeting minutes. Has everybody had a chance to review those? And no changes, no questions? Terrific. Then I will entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda. So moved.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Thank you. Okay, invitation for public comment. At the beginning of the meeting is an opportunity for the public to comment on any issue within the jurisdiction of the TBCC Board of Education. And this is your opportunity. If anyone in the public would like to make a comment.
We have one of our students she tried to come in December and so she came in person tonight. So we have Anna Lutfield here.
Fabulous. Would Anna like to talk right now?
Usually in the beginning, yes.
Okay, terrific. Welcome.
Hi everyone, I'm Anna Lutfield.
Anna, will you come to the table and join us, please? Sure. Thank you so much.
Should I sit or should I stand?
You are welcome to do either.
Okay. I'm Anna Lutfield, a student here. I'm getting my Arts of Oregon transfer degree. And we'll be transferring to OSU in the fall for mechanical engineering. And I'm on the Career to Career Scholarship. And I came tonight just to say thank you and to be at a board meeting for a brief bit. I have to get back to my studies. I'm in 18 credits, so we've been so yeah, just thank you. I appreciate that you guys fund that every year. It has made a huge difference in just like a stress relief. I was really stressed in summer about paying for school all the way through, and getting that scholarship in the fall made an incredible difference. Since I've been back at TBCC, I've been on honor roll both terms. Been a 4.0 in the summer, 3.5 last term. We turned because I was a dumb teenager once and didn't do my class.
Most of us were.
I came back last summer to a 1.64 GPA, and that is now a 3.34 as of this term coming. Yeah, 3.5, and we'll qualify for Honor Society after this term. So,
Well done, Anna. Well done.
Great job.
that's great.
Thank you so much for being here with us.
Yep.
Would you take any questions if we have some?
Oh, yeah, I would gladly take some.
Board, please, Pat.
First of all, congratulations. I know that career to career side of things. What were you doing prior to coming back to school, and what was your motivation?
So it's gonna be wild. I went to Job Corps after I tried school and I didn't like it, and I became a concrete carpenter. So I built concrete formwork. So you guys know the Max trains out in Portland. I didn't work on that set, but I worked on Seattle. I was building a whole system like that. It's called the Seattle Link. It's by Sound Transit. I built all the way from Redmond, Washington, where Microsoft is at, all the way across the lake. The floating bridge across the lake and all the way into Seattle. So, and I-5 bridges. I mean, I've got to build some really cool things and work on some really cool projects. So that's what I've been doing the last 8 years. And then I got injured. I fell 30 feet at work. Lucky to be alive. I had a friend take a similar fall and did not make it. And that's why I've gotten out of it. I've been wanting to be an engineer since I was a teenager. Well, middle school student. So I found out I could be more than a school janitor, you know. My dad was a school janitor and I didn't know I could achieve more than that. So I had a good mentor at one point say, hey, you're really smart. You could achieve more than this. Right. And so I started studying harder and cared more about school. And then I just couldn't afford it when I was 18, you know. Tried OSU, came home after withdrawing because I couldn't afford it, and then came here and I just was resentful because I couldn't make OSU work. And then I went in the trades because I was like, well, I can make money at that. So made incredible money, but it's a dangerous job.
So.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Anna.
Congratulations. I love your attitude.
Right.
Yeah.
I just have I think, maybe it's my sense of hearing, but
Yeah.
what is your major? What's your field
Um,
going into?
so I will be going into mechanical engineering.
Oh, okay.
I decided mechanical because much broader. I'm concerned about the economy. I would like to get back to work. I miss having a daily job. This is my daily job, so I'm here from 8 o'clock most nights until 8 o'clock at night or
Yeah.
whenever they kick me out.
I could attest to that.
I'm here all the time. Yeah, I just, yeah. I think civil, I'm also like, I kind of don't want to go back to construction because of what happened to me and what happened to my friend. I'm just kind of like construction averse right now. Plus there's, a whole mechanical world out there, so I went really broad.
Great.
Awesome. Good for you. Any other questions for Anna? No? Well, thank you so much for being with us and congratulations.
Thank you.
That's inspiring.
Yeah, it is.
I don't think we have, do we have anything?
No. Okay, we can move into new business. Ward A is Board Recognition Month.
Thank you. Well, so you have ball-sized lunch boxes right here. Dated lunch boxes
Yeah.
there, so.
There's nothing in my.
There's, I'm not gonna feel it for you, fill it up for you, but,
I'll let you go.
yeah, so basically, it is Board Recognition Month, by, Oregon, School Board Association, OSBA. And so we just wanted to recognize that, a little token of our appreciation. I think you all know that, I certainly appreciate the efforts of the board. I think we have a very good board, now, and I really look forward to, not we didn't have a good board before, but I look forward to working with you all, moving this forward. So whereas the Board of Education of Tillamook Bay Community College provides dedicated leadership and governance in service to our students and our institution and the broader Tillamook County community. And whereas the board upholds a culture of high expectations and equity grounded in the belief that all students can learn, grow, and succeed. Whereas the board's steadfast commitment to student success is demonstrated through thoughtful policy direction, fiscal stewardship, and support for programs that promote academic excellence, personal growth, and community engagement. Whereas the board fosters strong relationships built on trust, teamwork, and collaboration, working collectively with college leadership to advance the mission and long-term vitality of TBCC. Whereas the board members serve as a vital link between TBCC and the community, ensuring that the college remains responsive to the educational and economic needs of our region. Whereas the board's visionary leadership and oversight have guided the college through periods of growth and transformation. Whereas board members generously serve the community through their public service, offering their time, expertise, leadership, and support of student opportunity and lifelong learning. And whereas the month of January is designated School Board Recognition Month, providing an opportunity to acknowledge and celebrate the significant contributions of our board members. Now, therefore, Paul Jarrell and Tillamook Bay Community College hereby express our heartfelt gratitude to the members of Tillamook Bay Community College Board of Education. And in recognition of their dedication, leadership, and service, I proclaim the month of January to be Board Recognition Month at Tillamook Bay Community College. I do encourage everyone in our community to join me in celebrating and thanking our Board of Education for their unwavering commitment to student success, their passion for lifelong learning, and their vision for a brighter future for us all. So thank you very much.
Wow, thank you.
Thank you.
That's great. Okay, moving on to item 4B and the audit report.
Everybody get excited.
It's something worth being excited about. So this was Dave. So Dave Souls is our interim CFO. Nothing like jumping onto the job and a couple months later having an audit on your lap after we've been working really hard in our business office to produce successively, make progress on our audits and better audits. We had Kenneth Coons and company here started end of November, and they were here a little bit in December or something like that.
Yeah, he came in, it started in December.
Started in December.
Yeah.
And you want to give us a snapshot of his findings? We obviously have the report there that's been filed, and
Yeah.
this shouldn't take too much time.
No, because there were no findings. Recommendations and no findings.
Well done.
Yeah. Yeah, this is the
Impressive.
cleanest we've had in a while. I mean, I think we've been working on that, and certainly Dave got to see a cycle of it before he had to jump in to do it, which was really helpful. And you know, some of the internal controls that we're putting in place have been really helpful. We know there's still improvements to make, but very good work.
Well done to you and your team. Congratulations and thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, they have been fantastic.
Yeah, Dave's doing a really good job with the team. They're responding very well to his leadership, and so it's been kind of nice to have some stability in there. So thank you for that, and working with the auditor and getting this through. So
Any other people on your team?
There are 4 others.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
We absorbed my position when I moved into the interim, so I get to wear a couple hats right now.
yes, Dave's working with as our senior accountant, but trying to train up some staff in the office to do some of the basic day-to-day accounting work, and he can just focus on some of the high level work and can serve as our CFO. And so it's been worked out well so far.
Yeah.
So
Excellent.
we would ask. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
And say we may or may not have gotten the auditor to pose for an elf picture as well.
There is a photo. There is a photo of
That was.
Yeah.
We included him in our festivities.
Yeah, the business office decorated for the holidays, and they incorporated the auditor in it as well, so that's good.
That's great.
The action that we need is just that you accept the room.
Okay.
And there are copies here, if anybody's interested.
Do I have a motion to accept the audit report?
I so move to accept the audit report.
Thank you.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Thank you.
And
Thank you.
we will, when we get further down here, we'll bring to light some good information when we do the financial report that came out of this audit. So they will elaborate on that a little bit more when we get to the financial report.
Wonderful. Okay, we will move into item 5. 5A is program review on advising and engagement with Kelly.
And before Kelly gets started, I wanted to give just a quick little overview. So as a part of our institutional effectiveness process, service areas, the kind of operational departments within the college are reviewed every 3 to 5 years, right? And so as the description describes, we give each yeah, it's like, we give each area we require that they spend some time with me, and we go through a process, and we did this last year with Kelly and Kelly's team to really look at how advising and engagement was functioning. What were the strengths, the weaknesses of the not the team itself, but how the work was structured. They did a SWOT analysis, and Kelly will walk through kind of the whole process that she went through to really look at how the work can function differently, more effectively. And there are really tremendous strengths of the work that she's doing. We went through this process not just with Kelly's team, but with 3 other operational teams within the college. And then the resulting report went to College Council, where a subcommittee of College Council reviewed the report, ran it through a rubric, gave feedback, and so that same process will occur with the other operational teams. And so you'll see more of these reports come through and be presented to you all, ideally by the end of the academic year. So this is the first of good things to come. So you'll learn. It'll be an opportunity for y'all. You know plenty about the college, but this will be an opportunity for you to dig a little bit deeper and learn a little bit more about how each of these teams function.
Wonderful.
Yeah,
Thank you, Erin.
sorry, Kelly, but there you
No,
go.
sorry.
A little intro for you.
No, sorry. Hello, everyone.
Hi.
Hello.
Thank you for letting me come tonight and talk to you about my review. Are you okay? Thank you, Cheryl. My name is Kelly McKeehan, and I'm the Director of Student Success here at the college.
So the advisors and engagement are under me.
You don't mind it being outlined, right?
It's prettier if it's fitted.
Yeah.
We want pretty.
Maybe tap dance for us, so we waited. You know that, Rhoda.
Yeah, actually.
She tap dances in the lobby, so I like that.
I took my shoes home. I don't have
Okay. Oh, the carpet, it might be hard anyway.
Not for me.
Not very noisy.
Microsoft gets done too.
Oh.
That's always good. It's much prettier this way.
Yeah.
So here we go, advising and engagement. Our current staff is the Director of Student Success, that's me. I have 2 full-time coaches, success coaches, 1 full-time engagement advisor, and 1 part-time transfer advisor. This was us about a year ago. Jude, of course, still advises MIT students, but she's now a coordinator and no longer under advising per se. Title III, we have to talk about Title III a little bit. I can't overstate how important Title III funds were to advising and engagement. It allowed us to fully fund 2 success coaches, which when Jude left, we were able to move that under Clara. They're still being funded a little bit, but that's going to end, obviously, in September. So I don't think we would have 2 success coaches if it wasn't for Title III. Also, it paid for a lot of professional development funding or trainings. And it allowed advising to help develop and try to regroup learning communities. So we're going to talk about those a little more. But it's been a difficult journey for learning communities, right? A day in the life, first for success coaches. This, honestly, I asked them to tell me what they do every day, and this is what came out. So they do emails and calls and appointments and drop-ins. They do advising, they do career exploration, even basic mental health support. Of course, none of us are counselors. But we do run into a lot of students that have issues, and we have to try to guide them without, too much going on there. They also do Dropout Detective, and they're checking that every day. Dropout Detective is our early alert system. Outreach to new applicants, new student orientation online, that's the coach's job, part of their job. And they connect and collaborate with all the other departments pretty much. And that's a daily thing, and obviously not everything every day, but it's enough for now. A day in the life of advising and engagement. When I was promoted to director, we needed somebody to start doing engagement. That's what I was doing. Angel moved into this position, but she has done so much more in the short time she's been here. She'll be here a year in March. Especially, she started a whole GED advising program that did not exist before. She is the advisor, she tracks the students, she helps them with their testing over here in the testing area. And then, so beautifully and well done by her, she's already got 3 GED students that started in the fall. They've taken their tests, they've gotten through GED, and they are enrolled in winter term here as students. And I mean, that's the greatest thing. It's so awesome, because we need to fold them into our students just as much as anyone else. She connects and collaborates with a lot of departments, as well as all of the events that are student service events. She's in charge of most of those. And she tracks, career to career. I did the tracking for that, and Rhoda did got the students in, interviewed the students, decided who got the scholarships. Angel now does all of that. So it's off of Rose's plate, it's off of my plate, but it's all on Angel's. So she has a ton of them. We skipped somebody? We skipped Taylor. There we go. Taylor is our halftime OSU open campus person. She works for us halftime, OSU halftime. She's been wonderful. She has so much to do and so many things. But for us, one of the greater things that she's done is she and Angel worked on College Connect, and we're going to talk about that and how it has changed and improved some things. Okay. All right, let's talk desk manual. This is part of the Title III funding that was given to the coaches as a process and something for them to do. And this is what it looks like. So the coaches created this. Bailey, Clara, and Jude for the most part. And each week or weeks, they have what they do in person, what they do in calls, emails, and you can't see it right now. Cheryl, if you go to the next one, please. Go one back foot. Skips two. That's weird. Anyway, so there are scripts that you can link to from this page. There are different things. So if a new person would come in and say, what do I need to do week 2 or week 3? Here it is right here. And obviously you need training, but these things help so much. And this is a living document and it changes. And Clara is really good about updating this probably every month or so. Because of course, everything changes all the time. They also created an advisory handbook. Again, you're hired as a new advisor, you come in, sit down, what do I do? What's pre-orientation advising? And so they have a handbook. And for instance, this one says you need to talk to financial aid. You need to bring them into the conversation. You need to identify people's IDs. And let me tell you, this is not an easy thing these days, especially students who call and they make an appointment and they want to come to TBCC online and they're zooming in, but you can't see them. How do you ID them? Then it's tough. We also have CETs, career education plans that each advisor does with each student they meet with, and then ask about their goals, career, life, whatever. And this is just standard, and this is just an example of what the handbook looks like. It was a huge project. Remember a day in the life for each of them, and then this on top of that. It was huge, and I think they did a great job. My handbook that I did for my job never looked anything like this. Dual credit, we wanted to talk about that a little bit. Dual credit has been revamped and redone, especially with the help of Eileen. If we didn't have her direction, I don't think it would be anywhere where it is right now. The high schools now each have an advisor. We are committed to every single expanded option student is advised just like a high school student. Dual credit students, we also advise them. We're committed to once a term going to each high school and involving financial aid, as well as the success coaches in meeting with the families and the students, because there's always questions. Families always have questions. And so we want to try to be there for all of them. And that's what we're working on. We're working towards, we were successful in the fall. We went to each school and we're just going to keep going forward with that because things can always be improved. Part of this review, Erin asked that we reach out to other colleges similar to us and ask them and try to compare a little bit. So I reached out to Oregon Coast Community College and Colorado Northwestern Community College. I did Colorado Northwestern Community College because it's 1,000 students and it's also about an hour from where I used to live. So I've been there, not as a student, just visiting. Oregon Coast, as you know, is just a tiny bit smaller than we are. But they're
We're number 16.
Right.
With the bullet.
Can you go back? The success coach model there is very high touch for them. Or they call it a wraparound, and that's what our goal is to wrap around. Ours just looks a little bit different. When I talked to Ben Kaufman there, about a year ago, he was having trouble keeping success coaches because it is a lot of stress. It is a lot of personal and always talking and getting all of these stories and all of these things. And it is hard to keep people motivated. So his model was not quite working as well as he hoped. I think they have 2 now after a year. It's working for them. Colorado Northwestern College, as you can see, it's not just the 1,000 students, which isn't that much bigger than we are. It's 8 different sports teams, 15 or more clubs. And I'm like, how do you do all that with such a tiny space and a tiny group of people? But I will say they have outside donors. Britta, you might be interested, big outside donors. But they also have an aviation school. They have law enforcement for park rangers, all the kinds of things that we just don't have. But it was interesting. His main issue when I talked to Mr. Mansky there was engagement. They cannot get students to be engaged.
Mhm.
I mean, they have all the things you think. They even have dorms, but students aren't engaged.
They're tired from playing all the.
Right? Well, it's, about 6,000-7,000 feet up, so maybe there's a little man.
It's so fascinating though, isn't it, Kelly? Because that's our concern about our students is we can't get them engaged, we can't get clubs going. They've got all those opportunities and they have the same complaint,
Exactly.
It's
Like,
just,
what is it? And I think the world is just changing.
yeah.
It's just changing. Okay, thank you, Charlotte. The SWOT, Erin mentioned that, strength, weakness, opportunities, threats, or challenges. Okay. And I asked several people around here to do an anonymous answer to some questions about this. And this is just some of the feedback. And if you saw the whole review, you can read more of it. Strengths, obviously, information is verified quickly, friendly, students are put first, dedicated staff, things like that. Our advisors are warm and welcoming. Weaknesses, gaps in advising for special populations. I thought this was important. We wish we had a dedicated advisor for like veterans and different populations like that. We don't, but it is an important goal to work towards, I think. Lack of evening and weekend advising hours. We're working on that. We're open till 7 now on Mondays and Tuesdays, which is helping. It's interesting the people that now come in after work. So we're trying to catch some things. Opportunities, increased instructional support for learning community events. That would be awesome. That's one of our hopes. And use of AI. The people that work for me now, or not for me, but with me, they are very good with AI. Way beyond what I have even thought was possible just in what they do in their jobs. Threats and challenges, funding, points funding. And the burden of student success falling on advising and engagement. It happens sometimes, it just happens. It's like this student failed because you didn't advise them well enough. Sometimes they just feel that way. And it is something that happens, but I don't know. I think they're getting thicker skins and, just keep encouraging them. But it doesn't. The burden of student success falls on all of us, right?
Exactly.
It's not just 1 or 2 people. And the current political climate, which we have no control on. So, thank you. I wanted to talk about a couple of cool things that we've done since I wrote the program review. Registration groups for winter term. This is what it used to be like for registration, like the day before school started, everybody like, I'll be classes, and we're like, and it was just chaos. It was chaos for us, chaos for instruction, just across the board. So Bailey had the idea, let's try priority registration groups. And so priority group 1, you get to register November 17th to November 24th and so on. We didn't know quite how it was going to go, but it was actually amazing. It was really amazing. And it's such a simple thing now that you look at it and think, oh, course. But at the time, it was like, oh, I know, it's different. But now our students are like this. Pleasant, patiently wait. Oh, okay, now it's my turn to register. But I believe, and you can ask Michael, it was much easier on instruction
Yeah.
even this term.
It was like night and day between fall and winter term. It saw the courses filling up earlier in the term, and there was very few classes we had to cancel. And it was not nearly the stress and chaos.
Yeah.
So what you guys did was amazing.
Hey! The people give them credit for this, not me. Okay. Now, I'm going back from Taylor, our open campus person, and Angel to College Connect. It was basically a recreation of the first class fellowship that we had. Rhoda asked that we do something different. And so those two created College Connect. And the goal was to connect high school students that were just getting ready to graduate with something and try to get them into college, try to help them along. Because sometimes in the summer, we lose students from high school to here just because it's life. So, Cheryl, next one, please. This is the results. We had 15 high school students in the program. 13 of them enrolled and completed fall term here.
That's great.
One enrolled but withdrew from here, and then the final one went to a different college. I think that's amazing.
Wonderful.
Right? I mean, that was the first time, and it was just this summer. And that's what, so of course, we're gonna keep going on that, trying to expand it, make it a little bit bigger. But I'm very thrilled about this.
Can I ask a question about that?
Yeah.
In fall term, did you notice that those students that had gone through College Connect and maybe felt a little bit more comfortable with the college, did they register? I mean, I know it's a small sample size, but did they register for more credits maybe than the random student might have otherwise if they hadn't been introduced to the college and not felt so overwhelmed on day one? You know what I'm asking?
I do, and yes, I think most of them registered for 12 credits or more. There were a couple that had to back off a little bit,
Yeah.
but that's okay.
Sure.
And I can ask Taylor for specifics.
Yeah.
But they were much more comfortable. They didn't,
Right.
when they came to the new student orientation, they were ready to go. They didn't need extra help. All of those kind of things, which make a difference. And it seems so easy, but
Well, but it isn't, I mean, to this point and the point before about the registration, I mean, we're trying to do little things that change student behavior that are really, there's really no impact to us to have a priority registration or whatever, but it makes a big difference in terms of planning and whatever. And it also engages students earlier on, so they are more committed coming in rather than just registering a day before or something like that. So I think it makes a big difference.
Yeah.
Little things.
moving forward, career services is something in the future. And we were hoping to have a career service center, but that's probably not gonna happen right away. But it is something we're looking at and what's gonna happen when we all move to different buildings in different places. Oh, one more. There we go. The new building, of course, the advisors are up here in 206 right now, all four of them. And that's been better than when they were downstairs in the cubicles because there were different departments together. And so there was no privacy, and not privacy for the advisors, privacy for students and families. So up here, it's contained into a large room, and so there is some privacy, but it's still not ideal. We're hoping, Rhoda's goal is to move the advisors downstairs to where instruction is right now, instruction folks and healthcare folks. And then if we only have cubicles for them, we're hoping to have a room where they can take students and or family or whatever, so they can have private conversations. I mean, that's our biggest goal. A wish list. We just have, there's different things that we just can't do yet, but we will eventually. Making degree plans, we're hoping that students will be able to just get onto my TBCC and edit their own plans. That will come with interesting issues as we go. But we're hoping for things like that, so students can take more accountability for their own journeys. Really, Mass communications, we're so close, we're gonna start texting, I believe, very, very, very soon. We're excited about that.
Oh my God.
And in my written program review, I thought going forward a lead advisor and a career advisor. Of course, those are on hold, but in the future, maybe. And then this is my personal overall evaluation. Of course, we'll stay with guided pathways model. But I think with the investment that we had from Title III and in my position, I think we have a great team. I think you're doing great work. Of course, we can do better. Of course, there's more we can do. But I think we're doing. That's what I got.
Thank you.
Thank you. Question?
Do we have any questions for Kelly?
In your opinion, what kind of impact has this had on our students in terms of retention and success, comfort levels, just like the summer program thing? I mean, I know talking from my first gen student, how successful it's been for them. And I just wonder if that's unique, or if it's an across the board kind of thing, or a majority.
I don't know about the majority, but I think it is improving. I don't, there's not a day goes by, I don't go into their area and there's a student that they're not in there for advising, they're in there for confidence, basically. Help me feel better about myself. Help me know what to do with this class problem or whatever it is. And I think that that's important, but it's hard to quantify. You know, I can't give Aaron data on these kind of things. But I think it is so much better, obviously, than when I was trying to advise with someone that was, you know, somewhere else at the time.
Well, it just sounds like there's a lot more consistency to the process.
Yes.
And so everyone's getting the same information depending upon what pathway they're on. And there's not all the conflicts like there
Exactly.
been known to have.
Yeah, there's always conflicts though. No rose coloring.
Conflicting information, not conflicts. And yes, like you and I tend to have. Can I say that out loud?
Pat, on, if you look at, I mean, page 15 of their report where it includes a lot of the student comments, I was just reading through these, and what's interesting is there's a theme here that's very heartwarming for me to see, right? If you look through, you see words like support, trustworthy, feel like you matter, belonging, inclusive, kind, support, inclusion, never make me feel less, welcoming. I mean, those are the pieces that we've really been trying to create that more environment where students do feel like they belong and have a, not only, you know, they have a right to be here, and it's our job to facilitate.
And those responses align with the responses Aaron gets in the annual student report. That's cool. There's the consistency.
Yeah, that's great. They've done a good job.
Yeah,
Of examples of student engagement. I mean, I guess if you could wiggle one, what's the top of the list that you'd want to see have engagement?
Oh. I don't know, I haven't thought about it that way before. If we had something that was, say, monthly, that students could come together and just have fun and be able to chat together or play together, you know, whatever that is, or what that might look like, I think that would be ideal for our student population. It's hard to bring students in when they live, you know, out, and at night it's hard. So, but if we had something monthly that students could say, yeah, I'm in on that, that would be awesome. But right now, sorry, it's a little hard trying to schedule, you know, all of the things which I totally understand. But at some point, I think we have to have intentional engagement that's consistent.
So when you say having fun, it's not necessarily about school. The engagement is not about school, it's about socialization.
Right. Engagement in that other college was, sports teams. That's not really about school. I guess you could weave it that way, maybe. Clubs. We have a couple of clubs, but it's very hard to keep clubs going here as well. But we have good engagement, like with the first gen cohort.
Yeah.
So, and we're going bowling in a couple weeks.
Well, and I would say, Kelly, too, part of the engagement we hope to do, but we haven't been real successful in is our learning community, so that it's group-based educational experiences, and we need to work on that going forward. So whether it's, trying to think what we could do, but some of the science instructors have had things like that. Well, and even one of our high school instructors recently asked, they're teaching a dual credit class, could they bring a group of students from Tillamook High School over here to work with our faculty member to do some soils experiments in our lab? I love that. That's a learning community type thing, which is engaging the students in a different way, but trying to get to a point to where we work more collaboratively with our faculty to have some of these educationally related ones. I also have a dream of more student tutors and or mentors for each other. We train them up for year one, like with the first gen. We're working on a plan to, if you are mentee year one, and we then train you up to be a mentor to a new student year two. So some of those kinds of things as well. It's kind of slow going, but those are all things we would like to work towards as well. I'm sorry to be
The more we can do to get students engaged with each other, with other staff, it's more extracurricular kinds of things. So what can we do outside of the classroom to facilitate their motivation for success inside the classroom?
I just want to bring this up because it's not so much a question, but I just wanted to mention that Jen Case has worked really hard to create a resource fair type of situation. I just got involved, which I'm really excited about. And it's something I've been wanting to do. And so first Thursday of every month, from 3 to 5 here, if there's students that are facing barriers for various reasons that have to do with Oregon Health Plan, that have to do with food stamps, that have to do with those kinds of things. And I'm there on behalf of the CCO, and we can help our Oregon Health Plan members with things like transportation, over the hill to medical appointments. Sometimes there's housing supports we can do and stuff like that, and help reduce those barriers, because I feel like that really plays a key part in the engagement, as well as
Absolutely.
just helping people feel like they're getting like the warm, no wrong door, and getting people engaged to refer to other places. And we can also help that too. So I just want to make sure everybody knew that that was going on. Probably everybody does, but it's Angelica from New Halem Bay has been coming here for a few minutes. It's slow going. And so I joined her last Thursday for the first time, and we have someone from the SNAP program that's going to be with us, but we just want to make sure everybody knows that's a resource for students.
Yeah, it's a great thing. I'm excited. Last Thursday was the first one, right? For the first Thursday of each month.
Right. And the first Thursday was New Year's Day. So we moved it to the 8th, but yeah, small thing. But yeah, next month it will be the first Thursday.
Awesome. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thank you. Any other questions for Kelly? Suzanne, any questions or comments for Kelly? Oh, we can't hear you, sorry. No, not yet.
There we go.
Okay, now I'm not muted anymore. No, I don't have any questions, but I find this very valuable. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, thank you so much, Kelly. Okay, we'll move on to item 5B, which is the ASTBCC report, and welcome back, Simone. Glad to see you again.
You too. Yeah. All right, so I'm Simone. And we were supposed to have our holiday wrapping event last month, but it got canceled due to weather.
Yeah.
So we didn't have that. Coming up, we have the PCC Leadership Conference. Our whole team's going. It's January 30th at BCC. And And we're inviting a new member to our club or our group. It's one of the girls that ran in the fall and didn't get it, so it's the next option. We have the Lovebirds Paint Night, February 12th. It's a Thursday. I think we're doing that in here. And then we have a game night, March 19th. We don't have like a bunch of details on that yet. It's still kind of being figured out, as well as our Cinco de Mayo event on May 5th. So yeah, I'm doing stuff.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
That's great that you're all going to the leadership conference,
Yeah.
everybody.
Yeah, it's exciting.
Yeah, where's it going to be? What, at PCC in Portland?
Did you go last year? Do you know about it?
No, I haven't gone. This is my first year here. I just graduated high school in June, so.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, good for you. I'm glad you're going.
Yeah.
And afterward, you can come back and tell us what it was like.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah, we want to hear about it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry the wrapping event got canceled because
Yeah.
of weather, but it meant that I didn't have to buy anybody presents. But I don't know who closed school on that. You're fine now for the
Thank you, Simone. We're so glad you're here. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, let's go on to the construction report. Jason.
Great, thank you. So starting with the CIT building, lots of activity. Interior of the building is complete as far as mechanical and has turned to finish. So they're currently doing some of the finishing in the building, putting up the plywood walls, drywall. It's moving along interior quite a bit. Encourage a tour if anyone wants to see the inside. Exterior, we're just getting ready to put the new skin on. I believe next week we're bringing in the copper penny roof for the front entry. So it will start to, hopefully in the next 2 weeks, it'll have the campus look to the building. So we will say goodbye to that baby blue siding and then give it a facelift and make it look like the rest of our campus. All in all, the project's moving along very well. Anticipated finish date for that project is in March. So we look forward to getting that finished up. It's going to be quite a bit to get it equipped and moved into. So I think we're looking at, we're moving in April to start programs. I believe it's summer term, a little after summer term.
Can I comment on the sort of equipment piece on the inside? So we've been fortunate, right? We had some funds from, actually, I think Title III has actually contributed some for this. We had the, I don't think the HRSA grant contributed any equipment wise for this, but we have a Future Ready Oregon grant that came to the county, I guess, through the Education Consortium that is providing some advanced manufacturing robotics training equipment that can go in there. We will have a robotic welder that will go in there and that's a multi-axis robotic welder and then a multi-axis robotic arm that can build pallets, can package food, can do things like that, just to train students in that piece. So we have about $300,000 in equipment that is going into that facility from a couple different grants that one that Britta helped us get through Oregon Community Foundation, and then also that Future Ready Oregon grant. So in addition to being able to move our welding and fabrication outfit in there from the high school and our electrical programs in there, we'll also be able to grow out some advanced manufacturing robotics kind of programs in this, and we'll look forward to that as well.
That's great.
The other piece of CIT is we are working with the general contractor on options for building a storage building in the back of CIT. If everyone remember, we had our little facility shed on the entrance to the campus before we started the health building. So we're trying to look at designing a building in the back. We're currently renting at the port, which would definitely be a cost savings to the college if we can bring that storage back to campus. So we're actively looking at those options. Next door, the big building. Things are going really well. We are in the home stretch. We are currently completed all our punch lists. We are doing back punch and final punch this week, which is exciting. What that means is all the little things that we've asked to be fixed are being fixed and then being inspected again. Exciting news is we are hopeful to have the fence down by the end of the week and start transitioning to our entrance off of Brookfield,
That's gonna change.
which will be a huge step. That'll open all the additional parking, so parking will no longer be an issue, freeing up our lot on Third Street. Today, I sent out emails scheduling all staff moves for the first week of February. So it looks like we will be moving staff in the first week of February, and getting everyone situated in their new offices and bringing the building online. So hopefully by mid-February, that building will be up and completely operational. Which is good news. Well, the bad news is this may be the last Board of Education building in this room.
Yes, it is. So,
Meeting.
meeting.
So this will be the last meeting. Hopefully on February 9th, we'll be able to have the board meeting in the new building.
We
Wow.
will have.
We will.
Not, no one had.
That's exciting.
We're really excited about that. A lot going on, but the finish line is near. So we're excited to get that online. We're excited to get CIT online. And another new development is with opening the parking, our CDL program, which has a lot next to the blimp hangar. We have had to move off of that lot due to the damage of the hangar. And so the decision was made to bring our CDL course to our vacant lot on Third Street, which just adds another element to the whole campus build out. So that'll bring another one of our resources here to the main campus, which is super exciting. So we'll have our semi trucks down the street as well.
They moved them there last week. It's been fun seeing them there.
Just the campus is coming together. It's going to be nice. So when you drive down Third Street, hopefully there's no question where you're at. So that concludes my report. If there's any questions, I'm happy to answer them.
Thank you. Anything for Jason?
How soon will the actual classes start in that building?
Our goal would be spring term. We would be
Okay.
able to have some transition, some in there. I mean, it could be depending upon, certainly with some of the health classes, we could even see, depending upon what they want to do, we could be see having some classes over there. Then it's going to be, we're set up in a lab here. It's just a matter of, moving things over, whatever, but they may want to be able to start having some classes over there. There's nothing that would keep us from having students in there. It's just a matter of getting the things set up and troubleshoot them so that they work. And we have
probably fall over there.
fall over here across the street's our goal. We have the company coming out the middle of February to install all of the simulation equipment and video recording kinds of things, right? February, I think it is, they're coming.
February 12th.
So, for sure, our goal is spring term to be operating over there, maybe even a little bit of limp into it and have some class sessions over there in some of the rooms. Fun.
And a lot of interest in the community center.
Oh, yeah.
So
people
it
down already.
should come online real quick.
Yeah.
A lot of community interest. So I think that's going to be huge for Tillamook.
Yes.
Thank you. That's an exciting report. Okay, let's move on to the financial report. Dave.
Okay. We're looking at the financials through the end of November. Everything's in line here. We see we've collected about 70% of the property taxes at this point. That seems to hit in the fall there, and it'll trickle in the rest of the estimated there. Our expenditures were every line's below that 41% that we would expect to be if we're true to it. So we have quite a bit of cost in there in the personnel and stuff that we're seeing as it plays out throughout the year. The best news out of the audit is our ending fund balance is $517,000 higher than what we have our summaries here. So our starting fund balance will be 500,000 for the 25-26 year that we're currently in. So on the next summary, I'll adjust that number so we can see that and realize, but that helps with with some of our budgeting that we've been looking at, so.
Great.
Yeah, and if I could comment on that, and Dave, correct me if I'm the speaker if I'm wrong. So basically what that 24-25 ending fund balance bump that we're going to get that will move forward. If you remember, we had budgeted, we were outside of board policy on current year ending fund balance in our budget. That should allow us to close that gap pretty significantly. Again, that's without any of the cost saving measures that we put in place coming to light. That's just the fact that 24-25, we under budgeted revenue significantly, both from the state and tuition and fees. And we were under on our personnel expenses. So those two things contributed to that larger audited ending fund balance that'll allow us to bail that out a little bit. That still, though, you don't see in here, we won't see any cost savings in here until we start seeing January's hit as far as personnel savings from the reduction in force that we did and some of the other measures that we're putting in place. Those should help as well. But again, we're still working on two issues we're trying to resolve. One is the ending fund balance issue to be in line with policy, and this will close that gap quite a bit for us. And the other is still having a structural deficit, regardless of that, in terms of ongoing revenue and ongoing expense. The reduction in force is what's helping to address that piece. We are making good progress in both of those areas. So should be, we should start seeing some of that in these reports that we move forward on.
Great, thank you.
Where did the 517,000, I mean, how did that happen that we?
Just it's budget versus actual. So like Paul mentioned, the tuition came in higher. We had higher revenues from the state than what was put into the budget. So
yeah, there's a couple things that hit us actually on that. So we should have known a little bit better in terms of what our revenue would be, because that was a second year of a biennium. So we should have been a little bit more dialed in. Part of the problem, though, is because we use a 3-year rolling average. And because we're a small school, we have grown quite a bit. So we've been basing things on prior year, but each next year we've grown more, and so we get a bigger piece of the pie. And we haven't really taken that into account when we've been budgeting before. Just to give you when I first started here, which has only been, a little more than 3 years ago, we got about 1% of the community college support fund. It's a distribution form. It's not a funding form. It's distribution, right? And based upon metrics, we would get about 1% of whatever the state had. Now we're up to 1.3%, a little bit more than that, actually. And that's because during COVID and coming out of COVID, we didn't lose students like everybody else did. And when PCC got the biggest, and when they really dropped by a lot, and we go up relatively, they get less money, we get more, right? So that's where we kind of didn't budget well, is trying to predict that piece on revenue. And the other piece on revenue, we underestimated the impact of the nursing program on tuition fees revenue, which was significant, having a couple cohorts. Then, of course, the expense side, again, due to, funded positions that weren't full the whole time, we saved on some expense there. So between those two things, and more revenue coming in than we budgeted and less expenses going out than we budgeted, that's swung that about $500,000, which I don't like. I like in the sense that it swung the right way for us, right? But we're trying to get a better handle on a true budget, right? So that we're not just plugging in numbers or rolling them over. So we're trying to dial in that so we're more realistic in our budgeting this time forward.
And that period of time is what?
The period of time during which.
The $517,000 difference is what period of time?
Oh,
Is it
1 year. Yeah, 24-25. Yeah, it was last year. It was 24.
And ending June 30th.
June 30th,
Ended June
2025.
30th. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. And
really great that it's well read.
no, I know, right? We don't like it swinging. I don't like predictable things, but it swung that way this year. I'm afraid. So we're trying to get a better handle on that just to make sure we're have a little bit more favor.
Great. Anything else for you, Dave?
Nothing here unless you have questions.
Can you find us 500,000 more? I only need $1,000, baby. Because all I need is find
If it swings the other way, I'll give you that news.
Yeah, I think it would have been the other way. I would have done
All right, thank you very much.
Absolutely.
And we will move to the president's report.
Thank you. I just want to mention a couple of things. You have a president's report in your packet we had. As you can imagine, December is kind of a slow month for us, so there's not a lot going on. But I want to mention a few things. Academic term and enrollment. Obviously, we just started winter term. We just started the second week of winter term. So we're still trying to figure out winter term enrollment. We look at least on the other stuff right now, although this certainly will change. We're flat, but it'll probably go up a little bit. But the good news is that we finished fall 13% up, relatively about 13% up. So year over year, we're still up pretty good. We'll see these numbers for winter tick up a little bit. It's interesting. We're kind of in a we used to be able, Rhoda especially was really good at predicting if we were at X number of FTE by this date, we're in good shape. However, we've thrown a wrinkle into that by driving student registration sooner now. But let's go there. We knew that there was this lag of, half of the FTE would still come after a particular date. And now we're still wondering, but at any rate, the numbers look pretty good. But we're chasing to get a sense of why we're low in some places and why we're high in places. So anyhow, that looks good there for that enrollment. We look pretty good, and it's nice to see actually across the state, with the exception of just a couple colleges, enrollments seem to be much stronger for the community colleges, which is nice to see overall. I want to just bring the board's attention to some conversations that are happening around the state that are gaining some I don't know, legs, if that's the right word or not. I have been feeling for a couple years that there's this looming pressure out there from the state to consider merging institutions and forcing sort of shared services on institutions with the idea, or probably the poorly formed idea, that somehow we're not efficient organizations. And we could be more efficient and make better use of dollars if we would only merge or share services together, right? There was a study that was, and I think I forwarded it out to the campus and you may have seen it, I forwarded it out. There was a study that the legislation asked the HEC to do for the seven Oregon public universities. These are the 4 years, about efficiency and budgeting. And there was a 40-some page report that had some good information in it about all the different institutions. And then the HEC put together some recommendations for that. The HEC executive director and his team put together some recommendations that they wanted to present to the HEC commission, which is a set of appointed officials for their consideration and approval. So they presented in a special session a couple weeks ago, they presented this report and they presented the recommendations. And one of the recommendations was that, and this is where it brought community college into it, was that Oregon public universities, the Oregon public higher education institutions, including Oregon community colleges, should consider collaborations with each other to improve cost efficiencies and whatever. I don't know the exact language, but basically from the one end of full institution mergers, and they use that language, to shared services and collaboration, right? So there's a spectrum of which things would go. I just want to mention that because you're a board, that would require, and I'm sure that board member, whoever knows this, that would require significant legislative action to change the way community colleges work, because we are legislated, we have locally elected boards, We're very different than the seven public universities, but I just wanted to put that out there that that's on your radar. I oppose that. It'd be horrendous for small rural community colleges like Tillman Bay Community College to lose that connection to the community. We have a mission that's much greater than simply educating students for training, right? And I think that we would lose some of that if we went down this road of consolidation and merger. I will tell you though that, I mean, I'm doing my due diligence. I am looking at what are there efficiencies given our budgeting that we can make with shared services and collaboration and things like that. There might be some out there, but you know, the idea that that's going to be the savior, I think is not really there. It's not, I don't see it saving money, and I see it hurting our college. So I will keep you posted about those kinds of things. The other reason I think that it has some legs to it is that 2 days before the HEC commission voted on these recommendations, and they voted 13-3 to approve those recommendations. 3 days before that went to commission, coincidentally, the governor sent a letter to the HEC that almost echoed verbatim the recommendations that were in there. So there's strikes me as a little collaboration maybe between the governor's office and the HEC commission.
Yes.
On those kinds of things. So we will be, should this gain any traction in the state legislature, we certainly, by we I mean OCCA, will certainly be lobbying to better understand that and to think about it and the implications to the community colleges and what that would take. So I'll keep you posted on that. The timeline really would be looking at something, if it's legislative, it wouldn't be till the long session in 2027. But I do, like I say, there are things on the horizon, right, that I just wanted you all to be aware of, because you'll hear about these things and you'll probably hear me talking not in favor of a lot of these, at least from the standpoint of Tillman College. We have we mentioned the Title III grant that has been very instrumental, I think, over the past 3 years in particular in helping transform the way we're doing some business here. We have 1 year left on that grant, right? And we have our annual evaluator visit tomorrow. So that should be kind of good there. We were one of the lucky ones, I guess, that didn't get hindered by any of the changes in federal level to reviewing these things. And we have not only our full budget, some extra budget that we have used and are using to really help move along some of these initiatives that you just heard about with student success, but also in helping support the health education. Some more on that after we hear from them. I'm sure we'll get, maybe we can give, we'll get Eileen on the docket for a presentation at some point, and we can kind of get a sense of where we are for that. Just a couple of observances things. I think it's important. Obviously, I appreciate you all tremendously. I know serving as an appointed member on a school board myself, the dedication that it takes, and I appreciate each of you and value what you bring to this college and the support that you give me. So I really appreciate that. And so if we have to be stable for a while. I also would feel not good about not mentioning sort of the state of affairs that's happening. It's been a pretty challenging week on a number of levels. Past couple of weeks with not only the shooting and killing of the individual in Seattle, but also, or not Seattle, Minneapolis, but also the shootings in Portland. So again, my stance on our institution. I reiterated with the campus community that should federal authorities show up, they are directed to just refer them to myself, Britta, and or Jason, and we will take it from there. We don't want to engage with any federal authorities because we see what can happen when we engage in the wrong way with them. So I have encouraged, if anything happens here with our campus community, they certainly can ask for identifying information, but the thing they should do is refer to one of us, as I mentioned before. And then if there were any kind of action here, we don't engage other than if they want to stand on the side and film, that's certainly their prerogative, but we don't.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Has anyone discussed that with the students? Is there conversations about, like, for the students? I imagine they have questions like coming here and for their own safety.
They do. We have had, every time I have a meeting with students, but it's always a select group of students. I mentioned that. We did send out information to students, student body, but it's been a while since we've done that. We haven't had sort of a universal student email that we've sent out for that. I will say that our opportunity programs, so Jenny Case and Angelica, really provide, I would say, sort of on the spot support to our students, right? Rather than in bringing it out into the open and in the light, so to speak, they provide it that way. But I haven't had anything with students lately. We should think about reinforcing the messages to students in light of all
You
of
did a
this.
couple times in the fall with a couple of the groups.
Yeah.
That new group that got created and some of the
Yeah.
caveats for this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think, yeah, universally, students would have concerns.
Yeah. Yeah.
We do have written a documentation in like restroom stalls on the walls and all common areas and things like that. Just about what your rights are.
Good.
Should that happen. So yeah.
We have laminated cards that we have out for our employees. There's a white, as we've seen out, that like if anyone is approached by a federal immigration authority, or any federal agent for that matter, regarding any action on campus, that they are to just tell them that they've been directed to, they can read a script straight off the card, that they've been directed to escort them to one of us. And if one of us isn't here, we have a designee in place.
Have there been any visits
Nope. Not to my knowledge.
anywhere in Tillamook?
There has been activity in Tillamook that I've been aware of, but I don't know to what extent. We have had much larger activity north in Seaside and south in Lincoln City and Newport.
Even Little Manzanita.
Yes.
Yeah.
They've been, I think, more targeted at individuals as opposed to places of business
Yes.
in Tillamook. Yeah, I think it's, honestly, the way things are going right, it's probably a matter of time. But we just keep reiterating if they were to come here, I want this institution and folks that are in here to feel like this is one of the safest places that they can be. I'm always clear that I can't make you 100% safe, but we can create an environment that might be the safest place for you to be in the county. And that's what I've tried to do. In light of that, I just want to. Oh, sure.
How about like the other two community colleges on the coast? Have they had anything?
Not that I'm aware of. Not that I'm aware of. We have had some of the larger colleges in the valley have had ICE activity in their parking lots. Chemeketa has, I know, Clackamas has as well. Do you know any others, Brito? PCC probably. Yeah. The activity is really strong in Washington County. That doesn't hit, like Hillsborough and the like. PCC doesn't have a big operation in any of those areas, so they haven't seen it at the community college level, but certainly the community has been impacted tremendously. I know I'm on Northwest Regional ESD's board, and the stories we hear from families that are affiliated with the Educational Service District has been impacted. In light of all of this, just mention a couple things. National Day of Racial Healing. We have our Day of Service on Monday, Martin Luther King Day of Service. Nationally, the Day of Racial Healing is the day after that. So on November 20th, just to keep that in mind, that's the National Day of Racial Healing. I would also like to point out that also this month is International Holocaust Remembrance Day on January 27th. Again, I think in light of the activities that are going on, not just in Oregon and the US, but around the world. It's nice to. As I mentioned, upcoming dates, college will be closed. The campus is closed on January 19th, Monday. That is a holiday for us, Martin Luther King Day of Service event. We have the Equity and Inclusion Committee and Jenny Case organizing the volunteer action. We will have working on a Habitat for Humanity home in Bay City, and then also just working in the Restore Center down here, just organizing, straightening up, and helping activities there. Legislative session begins pretty soon. I'm sure, board member Weber's more than aware of that one. One of the interesting things that's going to be happening during that short session is at the Capitol is we are working to reinstate CTA Day at Capitol. There's still some residual construction issues, right? So we don't have full access as we normally would have, so it's much reduced, but we will be there. We're going to be showcasing our nursing program there. We're not exactly sure how we're going to do that or what that means. I think we get about a 3 foot by 3 foot little area. So maybe stand up a mannequin there and it can moan and groan. But that should be kind of fun to get back in that and kind of see that. And so then next year in 2027, I think that we'll really be able, the long session will be on, we'll be kind of back to normal operating with the legislative days and legislative session and CTE Day at the Capitol, so that'll be a lot of fun. And then the next regular board meeting is Monday, February 9th, and it will not be in 214, 215. We will be across the way. Lord willing, and the creek don't rise.
It does rise.
It does rise. We can't get there. We will be there, and I am just saying that I'm not running any technology in that room at all. It just scares me. There's a lot of wires, there's control boards and panels and microphones and things like that. So we're hoping that we know how to use all of that. Otherwise, it might be a low tech meeting, but we will be over there. What's the room number?
I knew you were gonna ask me that.
Just more.
That's 205? Yep,
205. Yeah, top of the stairs. You can't miss it. You run right into it. Keep walking up the stairs. It's a beautiful setting. So I'm excited to try that out. But technology maybe. I trust Cheryl and all, but it's different. So that'll be kind of fun to see us looking into that. I just want to mention.
Sit down for a change.
Yeah, I know.
That's what I said when we walked through.
Yeah. I want to mention a couple things. And if you happen to have seen the past month, so basically first part of December, kind of through till a week ago or so, last week, the decorations, the holiday decorations in the lobby. Kudos to Holly Kraus and a number of folks that helped with that decoration, Jason and his team. But in the dusk and dawn hours, it just was beautiful, and it's really fun to see the campus lit up. Both for that purpose there was really special, but now you're starting to see a lot of the little incidental landscape lighting and things like that that's coming online with the new building, and it just looks beautiful. So kudos to Holly and the facilities team for working through that there. And again, I just want to mention the little changes like Director McKeon mentioned before, the little changes that we do to change student behaviors that have a big payoff, right? And so we're always going to be looking for those kinds of things. So kudos to the student services teams for thinking outside the box a little bit, trying something a little bit different because it happens. And that's my report.
Oh, can I go? Thank you.
Yeah.
And one thing you didn't mention, it'll happen before you come back.
Oh.
We are hosting Oregon Adventure Days on campus, February 4th from 10 to 1. We are having 18 colleges come visit us, so it's going to be great. So if you know anyone, especially we have a large adult population that has some education and not degrees and things. If anyone's interested, I can send you out the list of schools we're expecting, but it'll be a great time to come and have some one-on-one conversations with some folks from local and not so local colleges. So
Yeah.
That's great. What day is that?
February 4th,
Okay.
from 10 to 1.
It's a Wednesday, I think, or Tuesday. It's one of those days where.
Rhoda, are those four-year schools that TBCC students would transfer into?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
Yes. The
Some
idea
of-
of goodness.
Yeah, it's organized by Oregon State and they invite lots of, I mean, they give themselves a big booth, you know. I put them down the hall.
We also invited our three local high schools, and I don't know if any of you remember, it's been a few years now, but we're also, again, partnering with one of the credit unions to host a financial reality fair for local high school students. So that when they make the trip to come see the schools, they'll also do that up here at the financial reality fair.
Yeah, and we'll have some of our information out as well
Yep.
for students.
Wonderful.
So,
Okay.
can I just mention one thing? OCCA. OCCA, the Oregon Community College Association, every month they have something called Lunch and Learn. And this month it's on January 29th from noon to 1. So it's only an hour, it's free. And this month they'll be talking about legislative priorities. So it's a really interesting talk. John Weinkoff will lead it. There'll be some other people there. And you'll get this in your email. I usually send out the information that OCCA sends me. I don't know how many of you sent that on the board, but I'll be sending that out. It has all the details on there. Oh,
And also on February 4th, that's the updated revenue forecast for the state. And I will send something out to the campus community, copy the board on it after that comes out. OCCA typically does an analysis of that. That takes a couple of days. So when I get their analysis, I'll send that out to you all.
Thank you. Thanks. Anything else? Anything for Paul? Then we can.
I'm hearing that there's going to be a scholarship fair at the high school. Have you heard any word about that?
Yes. Yeah. Joanne Fratelli ran into Brett at Hurlman at something, and I just emailed to set up a meeting about that. So yeah, it's on February 6th at the high school, 10-ish. So yes, we have heard of it and we'll do something for it. Participate.
So that's for all high school students to learn about what scholarships are available, we think?
Yeah, juniors and seniors, from what I understand.
Okay.
Yeah, THS.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Suzanne. Any other questions? Do we have any board concerns we want to voice tonight?
Yeah, I will just, Paul was very diplomatic in his explanation of the report that came from that. I'll leave it at that. I was shocked to read it and some of the recommendations of the fact that the community colleges got lumped in as an afterthought and it was easy pickings for lack of a more diplomatic term, but yeah. I think they perceive the community colleges as low-hanging fruit that they can just start to pick at. And told Paul, we were discussing it before the meeting, and he said he will fight that tooth and nail, and I said I will drive him to any meetings. It's ridiculous. We need to be very aware of that.
Thank you. Thanks, Pat. I appreciate you bringing that up. I can't imagine how that could be in the best interest of students. I can imagine opportunities for efficiencies, like classes we don't offer and can't offer that students could take remotely or something like that. But I can't imagine how for small rural community colleges, it would make sense for students to have to travel to another county.
Yeah.
Well, we tried that with our nursing program.
Right,
Yeah.
and it didn't work.
And we
lost
finally did what we need to do
Yeah.
on that, so.
It's too much fun, especially traveling out of Tillamook County.
Yeah.
In the wintertime.
Oh, yeah.
Highway 6.
Yeah.
All of it.
Agreed. Okay, anything else? Suzanne, anything for you?
No, except that, they're going to start paving Highway 6 tomorrow.
Oh, yay.
It's looking really good.
Wow.
That's good. And fast. Yeah. Bravo, Oda. That's fast for as fast as it was.
What it looked like.
Yeah.
The side of the mountain.
That's not the big paper.
And they brought everything back up, but yeah.
Yeah. Okay, well, if there's nothing else, I would entertain the motion to adjourn.
I saw mode.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Motion passes. Thank you. Thanks, everyone, and nice to see you all.
I don't know if I remember the videos.
Thank you for doing a wonderful snack.
Yes.
I never heard of it. I know nobody ever. So.